Hello, and thank you for coming to this episode of the Inner Estate Podcast. I am Bridget Stuart, and my guest today is the incredible Amber Cruse, businesswoman, CEO, founder, rainmaker, and real estate agent of the Amber Cruse Realty Group in Morristown, New Jersey. So, Amber, first off, thank you so much for joining me today.
Of course.
And we are going to talk about one of my favorite topics and concepts, the power of manifestation. And I happen to know that the power of manifestation has created incredible things in your life, both in your business and in your regular life. And I can't wait to discuss this with you. Could you go ahead and share with everyone, Amber, what does the power of manifestation mean to you?
Thank you so much for having me, Bridget. I'm excited to be here. The power of manifestation is deeply meaningful to me. I have been on this journey of even figuring out what that even meant for so long, probably 8 to 10 years now. And it moves mountains and it's changed my life in a significant way. I have more to share, but I kind of started my journey as an entrepreneur with very humble beginnings, like on my mom's couch, right, as a single mother. And I used to cry myself to sleep at night knowing like there's more in store for me.
Right.
I know that this isn't where I'm supposed to be. And so it started with just trying to eliminate limiting beliefs for myself. And it literally has changed my entire life, just manifesting. And the power of it is so unbelievably real.
When you just mentioned that, and I hope everyone caught it, so you started from humble beginnings when you went on the journey of becoming this entrepreneurial businesswoman that specializes in real estate, but you're an entrepreneurial businesswoman and business owner. You start from humble beginnings, crying yourself to sleep at night, and yet there was a voice in your head that was saying, Amber, there is more than this. You are meant for more than this. You deserve more than this. You can do this. Where did that little voice come from, and what did you do to turn up the volume on that voice so you started listening more to that voice than, say, the reality of hard situations you were facing? How did you do that?
That is a good question. For me, others might call it the universe, but for me, and all intents and purposes, God has definitely guided my steps.
Yes.
And if anyone thinks they're here alone, they're not. We're so blessed to wake up today, right? We're so
I know.
blessed to have another shot at this, right? No matter where you are. My testimony started, like, how did I start this? Yes, it was a voice in my head, literally, that just didn't go away. When I'm alone and I went through a breakup, the long story short of it was that I was getting married to my high school sweetheart after college. We planned our son. Everything was wonderful. We got engaged on his first birthday. Like, we planned our life by design. Everything was great until it wasn't, right?
Right.
And then I was an adoption worker who hated my job because it was depressing, so depressing.
Yes.
Kids on my caseload almost passed away. And I didn't want to be the one who has a say on if someone deserves to be a parent or not anymore.
Right.
It was depressing. So I didn't like to go home after work. I didn't like to go to work. Everywhere was just depressing. And I said,
Right.
God, please guide my steps. I need something different. And then I just let go and let God. So when the relationship unraveled, of course it was devastating, but I know that I prayed for God to just guide my steps. I don't know where I'm going to go, but having that faith to know, even though I don't see the path, but knowing that God has it all laid out for me, that is what helped me change. That's where it started, right?
Right.
And that really is what I followed. So fast forward to being on my mom's couch, and I'm like, okay, I'm going into real estate school, Mom. I have this dream. I don't even know anyone in my family who's a realtor. I don't know anyone who really owns homes, but this just seed came into my brain, and I'm just going to play it out, Mom. Right.
Yes.
And thank God for her. As a child, my mom and my grandma were the strong women in my household. And I used to see them work their butts off, right? Or in different fields. My mom would work all the time. My grandma helped take care of me. And one thing I realized, just to kind of circle back, is like my grandma always used to let me play. She would let me play and do whatever I wanted to do, play whatever I wanted to be, whether it was playing cooking or teaching or church. Like, she would just let me be. And I feel like that started to like build me up, so that when I got older, I knew I can be whatever I want to be. Like, I was never that child who was full of self-doubt. I was in drama club. I won the prettiest in school. I was in the plays. I I knew I was going to be somebody. I didn't know exactly what
Right.
it would be, but I knew it. And doing that with children and letting them be who they want to be, even in simple terms of play, has a
Yes.
dramatic impact on their self-confidence. It's powerful. So that's where
It really is.
started. I knew I'm on my mom's couch right now, but I know I'm not going to stay here.
Stay there. That's right. Yeah.
There was no thought that this is where my life was going to end. And so
Correct.
that's where the self-esteem, it never fizzled away.
That's really remarkable. That was a gift that your grandmother and mother gave you, is that you were strong in your self-perception and in your self-value, regardless of the immediate circumstance.
Yes.
That's a real gift that you had, for sure,
Thank
that
you.
you received. And so you're there and you're like, Mom, I'm going into real estate. And you took the plunge. Tell us a little bit about the opening chapter of being a practicing real estate agent. Our industry, by the way, is known for having a very high churn rate out of all industries. So can you share with people a little bit of that beginning stages?
Yes. And for me, like when I internalize things or manifest things, it starts off, I kid you not, as like butterflies in my stomach. Literal physiological response to what's going on around me. So I remember being in real estate school and he would describe, my son's a realtor and he's successful, and he works with he has like a high fee at his office, but when he makes $60,000 a month, he doesn't care about that. Like he's a go-getter and he's driven. As I'm going home to my mom's couch that night, like I would eat up every story he gave us about his family growing up on a dairy farm and humble beginnings and success. And I would just like have those butterflies, like, ooh, I would love to do that. Not for the dollar signs, because that was a number that I probably made in a year. $60,000 was like my salary. That was like almost unbelievable in my head, almost. But it gave me butterflies to think, like, even if it was a fraction of that, right?
Yes.
Even if I eventually got there, the thought that there was no cap on income potential to take care of my son, that is what really started to drive me, because I was working for the state, right? I was on a little hamster wheel. And you make what you make. There's nothing we could do. The governor had us on a income freeze, and it was what it was.
Right.
And with salary, it doesn't matter if you work your 8 hours or if it turns into 12. You get
That's
what you
right.
get.
Yes.
And I didn't like that. And so I am the first entrepreneur in my family. I'm also the first person to go to college in my family. So I knew that I was a little bit different, and my family encouraged and supported it. They didn't tell me what to do because they didn't know, but they're like, you're going somewhere. Go, Amber, go. Right.
Right.
And that's all I needed. So as an early entrepreneur in real estate, I joined a team and I got to be among people who were among the best early on. So I got to witness top teams perform at a high level. And I remember I got my first 3 deals under contract in my first 30 days. And I was like, okay, I can do this.
This is amazing. Yes.
This is amazing.
Which, by the way, great start. Yes, that's right.
And then my team lead said, yeah, but it's not always going to be this way, Amber, just so you know, right? He would humble me a little bit. And I said, okay, that's fine. So anyway, I learned a lot from the team. I was on a team as a buyer specialist for over 2 years. I finally got enough money to move out of my mom's house. So within the first 2 years of real estate, I was doing pretty decent, where I saved enough money to move out in my apartment with my son. So I was so excited. But I was a part of this multi-million-dollar producing team. And I qualified for low-income housing. So it was like it was an oxymoron, because it's like, we're in the newspaper. We're selling multi-million-dollar homes. We are doing all this production. But to be honest, it was the team lead who was the successful one. And then everyone else had a second source of income, or a spouse, or alimony, child support, or another side hustle. And I was the only one on the team who didn't have a spouse. I didn't have anybody. I didn't have a safety net or anything. So it built a hunger that I couldn't even believe. Like, I gotta sell these homes. I have to close on these homes. I have to pay rent, my $700 rent at my low income housing that I qualified for, because the beginning is the beginning, and you don't make a ton of money. You don't always make a ton of money, but you have to stay focused. Right. So it caused me to know, like, I have to stay hungry. I don't care how much the check is on closing day. I got to wake up the next day and pretend I have nothing. And I'm never going back to my mom's couch.
That's right. Yes.
Never.
Yeah.
So fast forward to that, I'm in about 2 years of being on the team. Then he actually let me go. And I was devastated again because I'm like, why? I was doing so great. I was selling more homes than anybody else on the team, right? But it's a part of that path and we don't know where God will guide us. I was like, oh no, like I'm full of self-doubt. Who would want to call me over this top performing team? It's just little old me, right? And that's where the limiting beliefs started to creep in because I really felt that way. I was riddled with fear and I truly believed for a short time, I truly believed, like, why would anybody call me? Like, it's over for me. I'm not a part of this team anymore. Like, my career's over. And I literally felt like I was starting all over again. And I was at year 2.5. But I did. And that's right around the time that I met you, Coach Bridget. Because I said, after I had left the team, I was like, all right, it's on my own. Let me start to call people and tell them, hi, I'm not a part of that team anymore. Just call me if you need me.
Right.
And the support came tenfold and I couldn't believe it. So in that year that I was kicked off this team, my business tripled. My income tripled.
Yes.
And that's when I made my first 6 figures when I had left that team. And I said, oh, this is what you had in store for me, God, right?
Right.
And that's when I knew that this is the chosen path for me and for me to take care of my son.
It is really remarkable that oftentimes in that, I'll call it a dark moment where you think, what on earth? When things don't make sense, right? You're like, I'm one of your top producing agents on the team. Why on earth would you ask me to leave? And you were engaged, working it. You were committed to the buyers having great experiences. You were really playing all in. And so it makes no sense, right? You would think, why would that happen? And like you said, look what God had in store for you to triple your business in that first 12 months of stepping away, having the moments of self-doubt and then saying, you know what, self-doubt, I'm still going to take action. And you kept talking to people, right? So that is really remarkable. Total time in real estate. Share with everyone, how long have you been in real estate? So how long has this story been?
This story has been growing since March of 2017. So I've been in real estate for over 8 years, about almost 8.5 years.
And you've alluded to success after leaving the team, but go ahead and share with people your team now, how many people are on your team, and share a little bit about Amber Cruse Realty Group. Then we're going to go right back into how the manifestation path, led you here. But where are you today?
So today, Amber Cruse Realty Group is made up of 10 dynamic, hardworking individuals. We are go-getters. We are providing white glove service to our clients at a very high level. Career-wise, I'm close to about 90 million in sales for my career. And so we consist of agents, and we have an entire web of how our team is designed to help our clients. So we have 5 admin and 5 agents, and we're growing very, very quickly. We have clients that are amazing people and in all walks of life, and we help the first-time home buyer, the investor, professional athletes, and doctors, and lawyers, and family members, and church and business owners. It's really been such a blessing to just get to connect and meet people who are like-minded in different fields, and to just have it blossom and grow, where now, the sky's the limit. Celebrities are our clients and musicians, and it's amazing. And so we've also grown to be on House Hunters. So we were on HGTV and OWN, and the blessings just continue to pour in, and we just continue to come with a servant's heart. That's how the blessings start, and that's how they end. You have to become serving people at a high level. I don't do any of this to just say, oh, I got this check at the end of the day. Because what I also have learned is that doesn't mean anything,
It's not satisfying.
It's not.
It's satisfying, fleeting. It's like a fleeting satisfaction that dissipates like morning fog, right? But it's not that lasting, building something of significance, something that will be a legacy, right? And to mention, you are currently with Keller Williams, Morristown, New Jersey. However, your team covers New Jersey and Pennsylvania. So you've even expanded geographically, right?
Yes.
Just through the natural needs of your clients. And wanting to serve as many clients as possible.
Absolutely.
All right. So everyone that was listening now has that from mom's couch to 10-person team, expanding, now covering 2 states, staff. You're creating wealth building opportunity and successful careers with everyone that's on your team. Right. Okay. So now let's go back to straight out of the gate, 2 years with the team, learning, grooving, growing, and then you're out. Great, triple the first year. So let's see, Amber, does that just mean that everything's been uphill, lollipops and roses in the last 5 years? Has everything just been perfect?
Not quite.
And easy? Not quite. That's right.
Yeah. I wish it was like a linear path to success, but
Right.
we know that. If you don't know, please know that this is definitely, you'll still get there, but know that it's not always just this one direction, one dimensional state of growth. It definitely comes with challenges, but honestly, it's part of the beauty. Like, I have been so obsessed with how God is guiding my steps. Even when a challenge comes, even when I get a no or it seems like rejection, I also have shifted my mindset to know like rejection is literally protection, right?
Yes.
And you don't even know what it could be from. You don't know, but you have to go with that, right? So I have 5 siblings. One of my younger sisters was upset that she didn't get a job, right? And it was at the grocery store, has certifications. She did not belong at the grocery store, right? That wasn't even what her field was going to be. She just applied for a job and she was so upset. And I had this conversation with her and said, like, well, what's your ultimate goal? And part of it was, of course, to make some money. She's only 20. Working at this specific grocery store, that was never even a part of your vision, your path, your goal. So that's just God saying, like, nope, that one's not where you're supposed to be. Just follow where I guide you and trust that I have your best interest at heart, right? Be a good person and pray and be grateful for what you have in the hallway. I have a huge sense of gratefulness before the yeses happen, before the deals close, before anything even happens. Like, I literally think out in the hallway. I journal about things before they happen in the hallway. I visualize things before they happen. So much so that when it does happen, it's like manifestation complete. Like, thank you, God. And
right.
I cry a lot about it because sometimes it's so powerful that it's like mind blowing, but it's real. It's real. And so to answer that question, I just allow any rejection, any no's, anything that crumbles, anything that changes to say, oh, this person wasn't supposed to be here for the next steps, or this wasn't my client, right?
Yes.
We weren't going to mutually benefit from this.
Right.
Goal. And it's okay. Everyone's actually not supposed to be my client. I don't want every single person in the state to be my client.
Right.
To be honest. I want people like me, right? I want people that are more like me, mindset wise, in so many other ways.
In the core values.
Core values, 100%. Yeah. Yes. So at the end of the day, I allow any no's that I get. I let my mindset be strong enough to know, like, I'm not going to get upset about it. That literally was not where I'm supposed to go. Thank you, God, for guiding me.
That's amazing. Right. So it turns every answer into a gift. The answer is just the clarity and the answer.
Yes, 100%.
So you sell real estate, right?
Yes.
You have also been buying real estate. So when I think about you, I think about how you manifested home ownership, wealth building, investment properties, many different aspects of buying what you sell, and the impact that would have on your son and future generations, and frankly, even your younger siblings and the rest of your family, right? So you are buying and owning real estate as well.
Yes.
How important was the power of manifestation in terms of not just what you were selling, but also what you've been buying?
Ooh, that's a good question. So I manifested every single thing down to the ring on my finger, and I'll give you the scoop.
Yes. Give us the scoop.
Step 1 of manifestation is literally asking yourself, do you even think you deserve what you think you want to manifest, right? So let's just say I want to be a homeowner one day. Well, deep down in your core, right, when you're by yourself and you're not scrolling on Instagram or whatever, like, do you truly believe that you deserve homeownership, right? And the answer should be yes. But if you think about it to yourself and the answer is no, there's probably some limiting beliefs that you have there, right? And I'll give you examples because I know several of them, right? Well, no one in my family owns a home, so we rent, right? Or you might have heard things like, we rent because, we don't want a 30-year mortgage, right? We rent because this is what it is, right? We rent because this is what we can afford. We rent because our credit's not good enough. We rent because we just work at this place and just earn that we don't earn enough money. There's so many swirling, limiting beliefs about why you cannot or should not or won't own a home. It's sometimes a family generational curse. And you don't even realize it, right? You don't even realize it. You don't realize it because it's just your normal. It's just
That's right.
Everyone rents. A lot of people in my family rent homes.
Right.
So when I did get my real estate license, it was kind of like a new chapter unlocked in my brain where it's like, not only can I help others, but I can figure out a way to buy a home for myself and my son one day, right? What kind of oxymoron? I used to say to myself, like, I could not be a realtor renting. Can't be helping people own their homes, and I've never gone through it. So that was one of the first things I was like, I want to feel how they feel, right? When I pass my clients the keys and I'm smiling, they don't know that at the time I was renting a low-income apartment, right? So I don't carry myself in that way, and I knew I was going somewhere else.
Right, that's right.
You be the person you want to be, right? And it is a visualization. So it's like, if I were this luxury real estate agent, what would I look like? How would I walk? How would I talk? How would I treat my clients? What kind of materials would they receive from me? Like, what kind of mother would I look like if I owned this multi-million-dollar company, right? What kind of what kind of support system would I have in place? Just truly visualizing all of that. So for me, living in my apartment, I knew I'm going to own a home. I just got to figure out where. So I started to drive around different neighborhoods, doing research on schools. And I found a small little cul-de-sac of homes. And I'm like, I felt the butterflies when I pulled up in the neighborhood.
Right.
And I was like, God, I don't know what it is about this street. I'm raising my son here. This is where I'm going to buy a home. And to be honest, there was one home on the market that I saw in that street, but it quickly went under contract and sold even before I was pre-approved. So it was gone. But I didn't let that stop me, of course.
That's right. No.
Of course.
That is not stopping you.
No, I'm like, there's no homes on the market in this neighborhood. Well, if anyone's going to find it, it's going to be me. I'm a realtor. I got this, right? So I spent that summer of 2021 knocking on almost every single door on this street. The only doors I didn't knock on were the ones that were the model that I didn't want. I even pulled up the square footage of, I want the biggest model with that biggest bedroom, with the bonus room on the lower level and the garage. Like, I don't want the ones without the garage. I literally picked out, like, okay, this is the group of the options. I'm going to knock on every one. And I did. I knocked on every door. It was hot as ever.
All right.
Might have been sweating, had a little, cloth in the car. And I just showed up with energy and enthusiasm and just like, hi, I'm Amber, right? What's the worst thing they can say? That they don't want to move.
Right.
And that was okay with me, right? So even before I knocked on the door, though, I prayed on it. And I'm like, thank you, God, for today. Thank you for blessing me. I am finding my new home today. I'm going to knock on every door and every model that I would see my son in. And God, just guide my steps and show me which one is for me. I am not leaving this neighborhood until I talk to every neighbor. I am not leaving this neighborhood until I get a lead or something where someone may actually be thinking about selling. Like, I knew this is happening. I would say it all the time. This is where my son is going to catch the bus, because I saw where the bus stop was.
The bus stop, yes.
I saw the bus stop. I said, I even made jokes like, I'm going to have this 3-story townhouse. I'm going to be, going up the steps will be a exercise for me. Like, just doing all the things. And then I found a neighbor. And I was talking to the neighbor, and she's like, I'm actually thinking of selling. And I think the woman next door, she has tenants. She might be thinking of selling. Do you want me to ask her? And I'm like, right, this is the butterflies happening where it's like, this is what I came here for. Absolutely. Right. And so I tried to help her find a home, happy with positive energy and enthusiasm. We didn't quite find one for her, but she was honest, like, I probably am not moving, but let me talk to the neighbor. Their lease was ending in October, November. And it was in the summertime. And I'm like, I don't care. That's wait.
Right. Yeah, you can wait.
Let's make it happen. We'll go under contract and we'll close when the tenants leave. And in the meantime, but before I spoke to the woman, like, she's going to sell this home to me. This address is my home. I would just kind of like repeat it over and over and just journal over and over. And we got a yes. We closed that November. And that was my first home purchase.
Right.
And I was so grateful. So grateful.
It was so exciting.
so exciting. Became a homeowner, was my own realtor. My son and I, we have a picture with my key. I could cry. Standing outside the house, and we were just so excited.
I know the picture.
We were so excited. It was just like, what a dream come true that I could leave this low income. It was a beautiful new construction low income house. Let me be clear. But what a blessing that I no longer qualify for low income housing.
That's right. Yes.
I pay my own mortgage and and I'm comfortable paying my mortgage where I know God is going to guide us and take care of me and my son. So that was like another chapter unlocked, and this was in 2021, and it was just like, okay, let's go, right? And the energy and the hunger and the fire ever burnt out. I don't care how much money was in the bank. I just pretended that it wasn't there because
that's right.
It doesn't matter. That's yesterday's closings or whatever, right? Being an entrepreneur means you have to always go forward facing and say, right? Sometimes it's scary. I'd say, okay, today's June. I don't know how I'm getting paid in August.
That's right. Yes. But you keep the focus on it.
You keep the focus on it.
And you find the people to help.
That's always what happens. Anytime I get worried about, do we have enough closings lined up? God always provided a way. I would just stay focused in my lane. Just keep doing the things that I've done.
Right.
Keep talking to people, keep going, and I would get it together. So that always has happened. And then house number 2 came about as I was reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yes.
And I was reading that book, amazing book. And I was reading the chapter about opportunities are everywhere. And I remember having a listing where they said, hey, can you help us sell our home? We're going through a breakup. We want to get this sold. And I had 13 offers on that property, right? And all of them were investors. And I was just thinking in my head as I'm reading that book, like, opportunities are everywhere.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe, just maybe, this could be an opportunity for me as well if I were to maybe buy this property and see, right?
Yeah.
So I spoke to my lender. I didn't even know if my credit score was where it needed to be or the down payment was what I needed. But I was like, can you crunch numbers for this property? That book just continued to say, like, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what other people say. Invest in areas that you're smart, that you understand. And this was my thing. Real estate.
Yes.
Like, I don't know a ton about the stock market and this and that, but one thing I do know is real estate. And I knew if 14 and 13 investors were looking to get this property, that this was a good property and I needed to pay attention to it. So I was paying attention, crunching numbers with my lender and figuring all these things out. And I've just, for clear transparency, I was the highest offer. I didn't do any finagles. Like, I wanted the offer because I came in strongest, although I was also the agent, but it was a blessing. It was an opportunity. Yes. And I purchased that property, and that was house number 2. And we have a tenants in there, and they pay the rent every day. And I brought my son, and I said, baby, this is our second home. And he didn't understand it at first. Like, we're moving here, Mom? And I'm
right.
So it was a gift to be able to explain, no, baby, like, we own this and it's our investment property. So we'll have someone move in and they'll pay us rent. And this is a way for us to earn money, and we don't work for it, right? It works for us. We set it up and then we collect the money. And that was powerful, bringing him through the construction process and him knowing that this is our second property. We won't live here, but knowing that, wow, this is an avenue for wealth.
Yes.
And
his future.
And his future, yes. So that was really powerful in teaching him that. And then that was last year. And now, to kind of sum it all up, now we're manifesting the dream home. So we're...
Yes, I think you are.
Yes, we manifested the dream home. So now we're going into house number 3. And do you want me to go through the story of that really quick, or how do you want me to?
I think it's incredible. And if you are comfortable sharing, I would love for you to share, mainly because one of the things that has happened, and I want people to hear if they're listening to this, is that, yes, you visualize and you manifest and you see things, but you take action. So I want to make sure they're hearing that you take the action as well. So whatever you're comfortable sharing, please share, because I think it's very compelling that if you would share part of that's happening right now as we speak.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm manifesting my dream home, and I move in less than 30 days of this being recorded. So I look forward to hearing this when I'm in the house.
Yes.
On the deck, looking at the water, listening to me talk and speak life into my future. I can see it so clearly.
Yeah.
And that is a part of the manifestation. So there is a home that like I've been, I'm engaged now. And I look forward to getting married soon. And my fiance has his home with his children, and I have my home with mine. But there's no way all of us can fit. We're like the Black Brady Bunch.
Brady Bunch, yeah.
So
I love the Brady Bunch.
We're the Brady Bunch. So there's this story of a lovely lady, and she's getting married. So we have been on the home search. And as a realtor, we see maybe thousands of homes. And as an agent, I feel like I was kind of like not easily impressed, right? We saw how many homes do we see? The house is a house is a house. That's what it was for a while. But then a switch went off where I actually, the butterflies came again because I've been selling multiple homes in a specific lake community. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this neighborhood. So it started off with me selling so many homes in the area. I definitely dominate that neighborhood. And then I had so many clients say, I want to live in this neighborhood. I want to live there. So I'm showing homes and trying to get them offers accepted and all the things. And now it's time for us to blend our family. So I find that there's not a lot of options in this neighborhood.
Right.
But you know how I found the first house. So that didn't
I do. Me. That's right. That's what it, yes.
Yep. So I'm like, okay, I want to live here on this water. There's nothing on the market and I'm going to figure this out. So I started with just looking in public record, finding people who are not on the do not call list and calling them to see if they'd be thinking about selling, sending out text messages to the community, right? But not in a spam way, in a genuine, I'm Amber, I'm a local mom. I am a realtor and a business owner. I sell so many homes in your community, but I'm actually looking for a home for myself on the water. I would love to move in before the summer ends so that my son can start middle school 2 minutes away. Selling your home, please let me know what number would seal the deal for you with a picture of my business card, right?
Yes.
So that they can know that this is not the spam that everyone gets to their phone about.
Correct. This is an actual person on the other side of a smartphone sending you.
An actual human. Yeah.
Right.
And so I started to get some buzz and some of the responses were funny. Like, I'm never moving here. There's some neighbors that would send me pictures of the lake in their backyard and they say, can you see these views? Do you know why I'm never moving? Right.
That's right.
And some people would say, well, where would I go? Where else can I go? That's just like this. And the honest answer was like, there's not many places like that. It's a beautiful community. So, I'm technically looking for someone who has experiencing a life change or a shift in whatever chapter they're going into. They might be upsizing more. They might be downsizing. They might have too much space. They might just be relocating. So I was looking for a specific person. Not only text and called, then I walked the neighborhood. And as I'm walking this neighborhood, like without another thought, I let my body get into a state of rest because there's a difference between like your fight or flight response, which is your sympathetic nervous system.
Yes.
Versus your calm and relaxed state, which is your parasympathetic nervous system, where you can love and you can relax and you can experience being happy. So you have to know that you cannot manifest in fight or flight mode. You cannot.
Agreed.
Your brain will block it and it won't even receive it. So you have to be intentional about it. And you have to claim these things when you're in a state of peace. So you have to kind of create that. So if your job is hectic, when you get off, you might need to manifest and create this peace in the car when you have quiet. You
That's
might
right.
need to try and go, take a walk in the park and get grounded, or go in the deck. Just go somewhere where you're not in a fight or flight mode. You're not in a toxic environment. Like you have just yourself, right? And so you calm yourself down. You do some deep breathing exercises where you hold your breath and you take the deepest breath you can and you hold it for at least 4 to 5 seconds.
Yes.
And you blow it out slowly and you just allow your body to get into a state of calm. And then that's what I did. And as I'm walking around this lake circle, I'm literally saying, this is my neighborhood.
Right.
I could cry again. I'm going to try not to. This is my neighborhood. This is where I walk around just to get some exercise. I walk my dog around this lake.
Right.
I see my neighbors. They have beautiful homes. I love this community. And this is where I'm raising my son in our next chapter. Right.
Yes.
And the sun was shining. It was a beautiful day. The water was like, the sun was glistening off the water and I'm just soaking it in. Right. I'm like embedding these things into my subconscious. And that's how it works. Like you have to like embed these thoughts and like smell it, breathe it.
Yes. Feel it.
Feel it. You have to literally. So I'm doing all those things as I'm walking around, giving out flyers to the neighbors to see if they want to move.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, I did find one. And they said, we're thinking about selling. I'm not sure. We were thinking about it last year. I'll let you know because it's not certain. And I just said, okay. So maybe 2 months later, I get a text and said, like, we're thinking about selling. If you're interested, call my wife. I call the wife. It's like a off-market opportunity. It's not for sale. It's not on the market. It's one of those
Right.
off-market opportunities where if anyone can make it happen, it's Amber the realtor.
That's right. Yes.
And so I'm like, that's totally fine. That's great. What number would seal the deal? What do you need? And she was very specific, and she said, I need this price with these terms, and that's what I need. And I prayed on it. I spoke to my fiance about it. We went to go see it. And when we saw it, it was just kind of like, this is where I'm raising my son. Like the butterflies came back again.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ignore your body, right? Don't ignore your responses to different things. Like if you feel a certain way when you go a certain place, or like just tune into it and think like, why am I feeling like this right now?
Right.
For positive or negative, right? If you feel the buzzing of your heart and it's skipping a beat and all you're doing is just walking through a house, that's when you know it's the one. Like,
yes.
Yes, that's when you know. And so we saw the house, we wrote the offer, and then an obstacle came.
Yes.
She told me, I'm going to decide to rent it. Thank you for your offer. I'll let you know if it's available next year, right? After I had already written this down and visualized it and journaled about it, manifested it, just thinking about like, this is where I'm raising my son. I was even speaking it. I started to tell my friends about it. Mm-hmm. This is where I'm moving. And I was devastated, right? But then I have to do another mindset shift and say, God, you guide my steps. Like it's either going to come back to me or I'm So I'm supposed to go somewhere else, and I was talking to you about it.
Yeah.
I was talking to you about that, and you said that too. You're like, it's either going to come back or you're going to find something even better. And it was hard for me to believe it in that moment because I was heartbroken. Like, no, why would she rent it?
Right.
And I'm thinking as an agent, like if you have an offer to sell or rent and you decide to rent, like you didn't want to sell. So I had to let go of it being my fault that I didn't get the house, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Just know that she wasn't ready to sell it to me at that time.
And you immediately continued seeking other opportunity?
Yes. So I found some other homeowners on the water, and I'm checking those out. And then things start to happen in an interesting sequence. I remember I went to preview another one on the water, and as I was literally talking to one of the members of my team, I was like, it was nice, but it wasn't, the one. It just seems like it'll be difficult to turn it into the one that I really loved. And as I'm literally saying that, the seller texts me of the beautiful one that she rented, and she's like, look, I don't know what's going on, but the tenants might be leaving early. And this was like 6 days into a year lease that people don't even break leases. It was a very expensive lease, a very gorgeous home. And she's like, they might want to leave early. They don't even know I'm going to consider the opportunity. But I think, let me know if you're still interested.
You're still interested. Yep.
And I'm like, absolutely. And I get all excited again. And then I'm back to my journaling. I'm back to my manifesting. It was to the point where I would, of course, look through photos, but I would take my phone, the video that we took through the house, I would screen mirror it on my 85-inch TV, and I would just stare at it. And I would think like, okay, I'm walking into my house and this is what I see. Just walking through the house again through video, like pretending I'm there. I was even thinking like, what direction would my bed face? As
That's so awesome.
Bed, trying to wind down for the night. I was like obsessed with the dream, right? And I'm just thinking like, okay, so my bed will be flipped around. Let me just pretend I'm there. And it's been a long day, and I'm soaking in. Like,
and you're soaking it in. You are just being present in it as if it is already occurred.
As if it is already yours and has already happened. And then, so take that with anything, whether it's the dream job, the dream house, the dream life, and think about like, if I were to live there, what would that be like? And that's what I was doing. And fast forward, they're out of the house. I am under contract. We just had home inspections. Things are moving right along. And like I said, I'll be living in my dream home within the next 30 days. And it'll be a full circle manifestation moment where it was so many tears of gratitude shed.
Yes.
So many tears of gratitude, but also just mind-blowing.
Taking the action and seeing it. So you know what I'd love to do, Amber? I would love it. And I think anyone who's listening to this recording would also appreciate this. What if we wrapped up now And would you be a guest again after you've closed on the house? And we'll continue talking about how manifestation, visualization, and action made all of that real. And we could even go into some of the other areas of your life. Would you be willing to come back and share with us further after the closing on the house?
Absolutely. Yes. That would be
all
such
right.
a full circle moment. I'm excited.
So we are going to do that. So again, I am so thrilled, Amber, that you were with us and you shared. This is Amber Cruse, CEO, founder, rainmaker of Amber Cruse Realty Group. They are currently practicing out of Keller Williams Morristown, New Jersey Market Center and in Pennsylvania. And we are all going to be on pins and needles waiting to hear the continuation of the story. Thank you so much for sharing and being our guest today on the Inner Estate. So I'll reach out to you and you keep me posted on the closing date. Does that sound good?
Yes, that sounds great. And if
Excellent.
I could just wrap up with one little tip as a takeaway for everyone listening, when you're thinking about what's the takeaway from today's podcast, write down your goals and your dreams, read it silently, read it out loud, visualize it, embed it into your subconscious, and then take action.
Perfect.
And I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for having me.
Sounds so good. We're going to see you soon with your new address. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. All right.